Hello and welcome back to part 13 of Inter Miami Live. Hope you're all doing well today and you're looking forward to the final four games of the regular MLS season. Columbus Crew, LAFC, Philadelphia Union and Orlando City coming up for you, which should be quite exciting, I've got to say. We've just come off the back of a 4-0 win over FC Cincinnati, along with a whole host of the victories from last episode, including a win against DC United in the US Cup final. So the first bit of silverware for the Inter Miami team, fantastic stuff. Hopefully we can finish it off with an MLS Cup as well by winning the playoffs. We've already qualified for the playoffs, as you can see here, by virtue of points difference ahead of Columbus, which is fantastic stuff, but we are some way from actually winning our conference. We've got some tough games against Philadelphia Union in particular today, who's sitting third in our conference, and we'll have an outside chance of actually topping the conference if they have another, or they continue their good run of form. So we've got to win all our games. Hopefully Atlanta United don't win all their games, then we will top our conference, which will be absolutely fantastic. So that's kind of the scene coming into today's episode, which I think is pretty good going. Of course, we've seen a turnaround in form from not just us as a team, I've got to say. I mean, we've done that ourselves. We've turned the form around as a team, but in terms of some of our players, Carranza and Agudelo, for example, they are now scoring goals for fun, which is what we were expecting to see right from the very start of the season all the way through, and it just never really happened. But thankfully, though, in yesterday's episode, they decided to turn that form around and actually start scoring goals, which was pretty good going. It's only telling me to make one change at the back, and it's to swap Lillard and Long over, which is fair enough. Of course, we saw Figal get injured for the remainder of the regular season at the end of yesterday's episode, or during yesterday's episode. So obviously that was a little bit frustrating, but we are doing well. We're keeping some clean sheets. Juan Agudelo with third in player of the week, which is good to see. A few players named in team of the week following that 4-0 victory, including Robles, Sweat, Lillard and Agudelo. Fantastic stuff there. Brilliant to see, and hopefully we just continue where we left off yesterday and just keep winning the games that we should and know that we should be winning. So I'm pretty pleased with how it's gone this season, really. I hope you guys are as well. Obviously we'll keep the lineup pretty much the exact same as we normally keep it, because we don't need to change it too much, do we? It's tempting to swap these two chaps over. We'll do that. I don't think it's made a massive difference, but there we go. Robles in goal with a backline of Sweat, Lillard, Long and Powell. Zurutuza and Trapp in the midfield, with Pellegrini, Pizarro and Agudelo in the attacking midfield, and Carranza leading the line, I should say. Lewis Morgan's been unlucky, as has Kisver, to sort of sit out a few games. What I've noticed as well in the MLS, you don't play players for 2 or 3 games, and their match sharpness just drops down dramatically. Like, you can't keep players match fit if they're not in the starting 11 week in, week out. Like, normally you can do in other saves, I've found, but I don't know if it's something to do with the MLS or just because they're not playing as much game time or training as hard, I don't know. But the match sharpness just goes out of players so quickly, which is a little bit annoying, I've got to say. But we can't complain too much. We are winning our conference right now, so obviously we are doing something right somewhere. That's the lineup. Let's sit the team and go and take on Columbus Crew today. Fingers crossed we come away with a big victory. That's what we're hoping for us. We head into the dressing room, tell the players to pick up where they left off from last time. Okay, assertively, I expect nothing but a win from this match to keep our good run of form going. Lots of motivation there, which is great to see. Assistant manager can deal with that team, or the tunnel media duties, whatever it's called, the tunnel press conference, we'll call it that, as Columbus Crew looked to be on the front foot very early on inside the first 2 minutes, looking to get forward, but a poor ball there gives it away to Pellegrini, and Carranza now racing forward to beat the defence. He's got players waiting in the middle, doesn't need those players waiting in the middle. Carranza continues his incredible run of form, scores a goal in the first minute and a half of the game, his 15th of the season. Great interception from Pellegrini, but what a great bit of play from Carranza to beat his man from the halfway line pretty much, take it on himself and shoot with his right foot from a very weird angle to put it past the keeper. That's a goal and a half from Carranza, and if we were doing this save more than one season, Carranza, I reckon European clubs might be sniffing at him. They might want him. I wouldn't be surprised to see some European clubs interested in Carranza, especially if he has a good season in real life for Inter Miami's. Pizarro looking to put a cross into the middle, gets blocked, and Columbus Crew looking to try and get back on level terms less than 5 minutes after conceding. Powell, though, with a great save, and Carranza actually does manage to get onto the end of the loose ball there. Can he show a bit of magic again? He puts a cross in towards Pellegrini. It's cleared, though, unfortunately. But we may have just won a penalty in doing so. The referee is going to the VAR. I presume a handball in there or something like that. I missed what the commentary was saying down at the bottom, so hopefully it was a handball or something like that. As the referee goes to review the VAR, he comes back out, and what's he going to say? It's a penalty. Fantastic stuff. Pizarro was pushed by Morris. Okay, so there was a foul in there, not a handball. Carranza, no, is it Agudelo? Carranza had to take it, number 15. Oh, it's saved, to be fair. It is saved. That might knock his confidence a little bit. Hopefully it doesn't. In fact, what I'm going to do out there is just literally tell and encourage him out there. Hopefully it doesn't knock him too much. He already scored a fantastic goal today. I don't want to see a penalty miss like that ruin his confidence and ruin that goal streak that he's been on. So we'll tell him that he's frustrated by that feedback as well, which is... well, it's not quite turned out well there. Hopefully Carranza isn't just going to fall apart now. That's what I'm hoping for, but I can imagine it happening right at the most important part of the season at the playoffs. He'll fall apart, won't score goals, and we'll lose in the first round of the playoffs or something like that. That would be rather frustrating. Their goalkeeper on the ball plays it up towards Pellegrini, who actually intercepts that ball very nicely and manages to get away from his markers to put a cross into the middle. He's unchallenged into Pizarro. Pizarro hits the post this time, or the crossbar, one of the two. And we've been very unlucky. We should be 3-0 up in this game, home and dry. But instead, we've hit the crossbar and missed a penalty. Another chance for the corner, though. Zurutuza into Long, back into Zurutuza, back to Long. And that's sort of the end of the highlight. If we can just get into half-time now and regroup at half-time, that would be absolutely fantastic. 13 shots to 2 shots. I'm not really worried about Columbus coming and scoring some goals. I feel like... if anything, I'm worried about we're not going to score enough goals. Because obviously, the MLS is done on games won. That's what it's sorted on first before goal difference, if you're on level on points, that is. So, obviously, the wins are most important. But I do want that goal difference as well, because the goal difference does help out after. Because I think we're going to be level on wins with Atlanta, potentially even DC United if they pick their game back up and we end up dropping a few games here and there. So, we do need to keep winning games for that. Will Trapp was obviously off injured there, getting some treatment. He may need to come off at half-time. We'll see how he goes for the next 5 or 10 minutes or so. Don't get complacent out there, though. We're going to say that to them. A few players looking to gain a bit of focus from that, which is good. Carranza did gain focus, which is good. He's not at the best of first half after his penalty miss, unfortunately. Will Trapp, we'll be careful of him. We'll monitor him as it goes for the next 5 or 10 minutes, but we will take him off the pitch shortly, I would imagine, for Heidman or something like that, as Columbus Crew playing it around our area, although we are forcing them back quite nicely. The ball forward is a good one, and Robles forced to make a very, very good save there. Trapp's condition isn't really improving, so we are going to take him off for Heidman there. So confirm that substitute, the first one of the afternoon. What time is it? It's 9 o'clock, so it's evening, a very late kickoff here in a breezy 35 degrees at 35 degrees at 9 o'clock. Imagine what it would have been if we kicked off at 3 o'clock. That is just absolutely insane temperatures. I really feel for the Miami players and fans this season and stuff like that. Agudelo's looking tired, so we'll take him off for Kiesewetter. I want to leave Carranza on, although he's not playing brilliantly. And Pizarro's going to come off for Lewis Morgan in that attacking midfield position. Can these two swap over? Can Pellegrini play through the middle? Yeah, let's give Pellegrini a chance through the middle, and we'll say to the boys, get creative out there. Hopefully, a few players look inspired by that. I'd like to get another goal or two just to confirm we do win today's fixture. By looks of things, Atlanta United haven't played their game. Well, they have. Maybe they have played their game. They're losing right now to Vancouver. I completely missed that. Atlanta are losing to Vancouver. So if the results stay like this, with 5 points clear of them with 3 games to go, surely you'd say we're going to be topping our conference. That's the assumption, at least. I mean, I can see it happening in certain circumstances where we just fall apart completely. That would be rather frustrating. But great bit of play from us today as Power wins the ball back in towards Kiesewetter, who's been unlucky in the second half of the season not to play more games. He puts the ball into Zurutuza, who shoots from distance. And that goal there is a bit of a wonder goal, and that should seal the victory here today with only 12 minutes or so to go. We'll watch the replay of this because this should be a pretty sick goal, to be fair. Kiesewetter taking it right down the byline and just crosses it in nonchalantly. And then Zurutuza with the volley first time into the top corner. That's a candidate for goal of the season, surely. What a finish that is from the Spanish. Is he a former international? I don't know if he ever actually played for the Spanish team, because he's of that age where Spain had a bit of a golden generation, and to get into that Spanish side, you had to be something. And I'm not quite sure he's quite up there. Columbus Crew grab, hopefully, is only going to be a consolation goal, although it has been given offside. So actually, thankfully, that's quite good. David Zurutuza never got any, not even any youth caps, to be fair, which is surprising. But he did come up in that golden generation of your David Silvas, your David Villas, Iniestas, your Xavis. Like, it's so hard to be as good as them. So no wonder he didn't really get the international caps. But by looks of things, Vancouver have beaten Atlanta, so we are 5 points clear of them now. We've also got 16 wins compared to the 14 wins of the other teams around us. So should we drop some points and other teams catch up with us, we should have that bit of gap between us, which is quite nice. So a fantastic result there. The only worry I have is Carranza now, because he didn't have a great game after missing that penalty. Trapp's out for 2 to 3 weeks with a damaged foot. Obviously, he'll be back for the playoffs, but that's going to be a big miss for the rest of the season. LAFC coming up next, who have had a terrible season. They're down in 9th position, which is not where they want to be at all. So that's something to think about there for the LAFC players. They need to pick themselves up, obviously. And if you're an LAFC fan, it's not great for you either. But hopefully, we will take advantage of that, as we are the favourites for the clash, 3-1 favourites, or 1-3 favourites, whereas LAFC are 7-1 favourites. So we are heavy favourites for that game. And okay, I mean, perhaps I should. Kiesewetter wants to go to, or New York City FC want Kiesewetter for a draft pick and a bit of allocation money. No, we'll reject that. We don't care about that. Not much recovery time in between the two games there, so actually some players might be quite tired. We might have to make a little change or a couple of changes in the squad. Obviously, Trapp's got to come off for Heidman because he is injured for 2 or 3 weeks, which then means we have to put someone else on the bench. So that's obviously rotating a little bit, but not massively. Also, it is quite good actually in a way, because Heidman will be match sharp by the time the playoffs come around. So that's quite helpful to us. It gives us a few more options, I should probably say. So that's quite handy. As we approach this LAFC game then, Trapp off for Heidman, and then he can come off for Norman. Powell's looking tired, so Delegarda can start off today's game. Pellegrini's tired, so Morgan can start. We are having quite a few players looking tired. Zuratuza looking very tired, so Aloha can come on for him as well. I mean, I'd like to change a centre-back around, but we've not really got anyone to come on at centre-back. We've got Torres, actually, haven't we? Let's get Lillard off, bring Torres on. Let's try that one out. That might just help us out a little bit. Other than that, we'll leave the lineup as it is. We'll bring some subs on later on in the game. But that's the lineup. So actually quite a few changes in there. Hopefully it won't upset the balance of the squad too much as we look to take another victory, another one in a row against LAFC this time. We are playing at home though, so that's quite the advantage to us. LAFC's recent struggles have them in 23rd in the MLS form table. So even after all our changes, theoretically, we should be comfortably winning this game. We should be in a position to beat them, but we'll have to work hard to make sure of that. You're second in the MLS form table after a decent run of form. Does that help before kickoff? Well, I want to keep things going. It keeps morale high and takes us closer to our target. So you can always guarantee they'll batter us 5-0 now. They're right at the bottom of the form table and we're right at the top. Robles is on a fairly lengthy run without conceding a goal. He's been very good actually recently. How long can he keep it going? He's performed to a very high standard and is always trying to improve. I'm hoping for another clean sheet here today. We'll say that. Agudelo carries his recent good form into the match. He's been in fantastic form. Didn't get a goal last time out, but has been scoring quite a few goals. I have to find ways to support him. Let's not say that, 'cause that's criticising other players around him. We've been indebted to him recently, and once again, our chances will be greatly improved if he plays well. We'll say that. So nice questions there for us to big up some of the players. Carlos Vela, though, has the ability to turn a fixture around. Has started off very strongly there by providing an assist from that free kick. LAFC take the lead right after I said that Robles are going to keep a clean sheet because he's been keeping loads of them recently. That is actually the first goal we've conceded for about 4 or 5 games now. So that's a little bit of a shame to concede like that. And LAFC looking to come forward once again. Their number 7 on the ball into the number 15, who looks to put it across to Carlos Vela, who is very dangerous, cuts inside the area, plays it out towards his wing, who can put the cross in, and they nearly grab a second goal there, LAFC. A very strong start from them, whereas we have nothing to show for it right now. No shots or anything like that, and only a little bit more possession than LAFC. But Agudelo coming forward into the area, beats 1. Can he beat 2? He can't quite beat 2, but he is picking up a penalty, which I think Carranza is taking again because he is the number 1 on the priority list. Come on, lad, turn this around, put those woes behind you and score this penalty. He has done. He's buried that one for his 16th of the season, puts us back on level terms with LAFC as well, which is great stuff. So we've instantly come back from that goal down, which is a fantastic response. And hopefully it sort of puts LAFC into a bit of a defeatist mindset. That's what I'm hoping for. If they think, oh, we've scored, brilliant, but then we've conceded, we're rubbish, hopefully that sort of sets a precedent for the rest of the game. Hopefully Carranza will keep playing well, get a few more goals. Agudelo will do some more mazy runs from the right-hand side. That's what we're looking for in today's game. We have to be big today because we've made some changes. Big changes, really. We have to keep pushing on. We're going to say get creative out there quite early on, though. Carlos Vela with a free kick. And they're punishing us from set pieces. We saw early on in the season that really we weren't great defending set pieces. And LAFC, with Carlos Vela as a fantastic free kick taker, is punishing us right now. This is not what we want to see going into the playoffs. I thought we might have got around the set pieces issues because we hadn't conceded for a long time. But clearly, we are as weak as ever from a set piece. So let's go a little bit more attacking. We want to get the win here today. We don't want to lose that momentum. Show some passion, although it is just about to go to half-time, so that might have been a little bit wasted. As can we get the challenge in before LAFC can put a ball into the middle and potentially go 3-1 up before half-time? That would be terrible. We're pushing them back to their half, though, as Pizarro makes a fantastic challenge. Pizarro with a chance, one-on-one with the keeper, takes his opportunity, scores his 9th of the season and levels things up right before half-time. Hopefully, then, that is going to turn the tables around. Again, that's poor defensive mistakes from LAFC. The first time was giving away a penalty. This time was just giving it away on the half-line to Pizarro for a one-on-one opportunity. So LA have had some big mistakes. We've made mistakes from set pieces. So we've identified that we are shaking areas both sides. Hopefully, though, we can just go on and we'll go aggressive at half-time. Not happy with the performance out there because I'm not happy with the performance out there. We should not have conceded 2 goals. But hopefully in the second half, we can sort of grab the ball by the horns and go for it a little bit as Pizarro plays it back in towards Sweat. Sweat into a lower, in towards Agudelo, who puts that in the back of the net. Fantastic opportunity for him to score a goal there. He's taken his chance and we've turned the tables around. After going down twice, we've now taken the lead. LAFC will be absolutely disappointed that they've taken the lead twice and now are losing the game, which is... I mean, it's great for us, obviously, and obviously not great for their morale. Hopefully, it really boosts our morale massively, although they have just scored a goal from a set piece. LAFC seems to be very good at them, and we're just absolutely terrible at defending them. Now, we've not played many teams recently that seem to have been able to exploit this as much as LAFC, so I'm hoping that that sort of continues and we can, I don't know, just not concede from set pieces because other teams don't know what to do from them, but... conceding 3 goals against a team that are 23rd in the form table is terrible. Pizarro's free kick into Carranza, who heads that one over the bar. It's not great. And it's looking okay for us at the moment because Atlanta are also drawing as well. So the points difference doesn't change too much. We are staying top of our conference. But I'm going to say get creative and also make a couple changes out there. So who do we want to come off the pitch? That's it. Let's bring Palacios on for Sweat because he's looking apprehensive. And let's give Powell a go at right back. I know he's tired and things like that, but he is phenomenal. So we'll make those 2 changes at wing back positions. Hopefully it will help us out towards the end of this game. Come on, lads. Let's go and get this victory. 10 minutes to go and LAFC with an opportunity. Blackman on the ball, looking to put a ball into the middle, into their number 15 instead, who plays it back to Blackman. Come on, let's get this challenge in there and go on a bit of a counter-attack. Come on, lads. They're passing it back. We're forcing them back, but they have found a way forward. Palacios, though, with a good interception. Pizarro now on the ball, out towards Agudelo in a bit of space. Come on, Agudelo. Cuts inside into Pizarro. Pizarro in the area, into the bottom corner. It's 4-3 now. We've taken the lead once again. Absolutely fantastic to score 4 goals today. We've done so well attackingly, but... we've got to be so careful from set pieces in the next few games. Agudelo, though, fantastic stuff from him. Into Pizarro, who was lucky not to kick that straight at... who's that there? Is it Carranza? That is Carranza. Lucky not to kick it just straight at Carranza. That would be rather unfortunate. Only a couple minutes of play to go now, and Pizarro putting a ball into the middle. Agudelo's there, and we've finally scored our own set pieces. DC United have gone 3-1 up against Atlanta United there, as you can see, which massively helps us out. And actually, hold your horses a second. Hold your horses. I'm going to go to TV for this because I'm not sure if we get a trophy or not. We've got 2 games to play after this. That means 6 points to catch us up. And we are more than 6 points ahead of Philadelphia, Atlanta and DC United as it stands right now. So, all things considered, I think we're about to lift the Eastern Conference title. Now, I'm not sure how important or impressive it actually is. I don't know if we get a trophy for it or not, which is why I've gone to the TV camera, because I want to see us get a trophy as Torres puts his header over the bar there. But with 5 minutes of added time to go, is there going to be much going on? I don't know. Agudelo gets the ball, heads it down towards Carranza as Morgan gets it out wide. Morgan to put it into middle. Pizarro's there. Aloa's there. Unfortunately, not going in the back of the net. Powell, though, with another chance. Unfortunately, nothing comes from that. But a free kick. Pizarro across to Long. Heads that one over the bar. Referee, blow your whistle. I just want a full-time whistle now. We're 5-3 up. Come on, lads. Let's just get to the very end of the game right now as the LAFC goalkeeper, who can't really do much now, hoops it upfield. Agudelo with the interception. And Pizarro racing forward. The ball across to, I think it's Morgan. Who got on the left? Is it Pellegrini or Morgan on the left-hand side? Morgan on the left-hand side. Doesn't quite get to him. And the referee just sort of watching the clock tick down now as Powell plays it in towards Agudelo. Again, we look to come forward. Agudelo gets it into Heidman, into Pizarro. Pizarro across to Morgan. It's a rubbish ball, although Morgan can't keep it in. And surely now the referee is going to blow full time on this. And we're going to see us lift the trophy. No trophy lifted. Apparently it's not that important in terms of Football Manager. You don't get a trophy for the Eastern Conference or the Western Conference. That was a little bit of a waste of time, perhaps. But passionately, fantastic stuff there. We got what we wanted. A thoroughly professional job in the end. It wasn't quite a thoroughly professional job, really. We didn't play brilliantly well. We've got to work better on defending. But we've got a Q next to our name. That means qualified. I don't know what we've qualified for. We'll have to double check this. But Inter Miami, we have won the Eastern Conference. Let's just check this in the news. Palacios gets one over LAFC because he must have played there before. Philadelphia and DC United have also scored places in the MLS playoffs. We don't need to do a press conference because we don't. We've qualified for the semi-final of the MLS Eastern Conference. I think that might just mean playoffs, potentially. I don't quite know. Pizarro got a 9.3 rating that game. That was fantastic stuff. We'll praise him for that. Right, we need to have a quick look at the rules then, as what is going on here. Rules. So, group stage. I presume this means the conference. Right, okay. So if you win it, you go straight to the conference semi-finals. Whereas everyone else goes to a first round. Okay. So, everyone goes to this. Okay. So then you've got the Eastern... Right, I understand how this works now. I was a little bit confused. So, everyone's in the Eastern Conference, the Western Conference, and then you play through everyone who's qualified for the playoffs in your own conference. So, all these 6 teams win that first round, and then we go to a semi-final where 3 teams qualify, and then we get in there as well. So we missed that first round, we go to there, then we go to the final, where hopefully we'll get to the final, and then we go to the MLS Cup final, which is against the winner of the Western Conference. So that kind of makes sense. I was a little bit confused. I didn't really think about how the playoffs worked, actually. I just thought I was going to work it out when I got there, but we're here now, so I had to work it out, I suppose, didn't we? As brilliant stuff for us. That's fantastic. We've got 2 games then where we don't have to really think about too much because we've already qualified as winners of the Eastern Conference. Of course, we want to keep that momentum going though, so wins are imperative and vital there, and we want to make sure we aren't conceding any set pieces. Philadelphia Union are up next, and that's going to be a tough game because that could easily, very well be a semi-final or a final of the Eastern Conference playoff system. So we need to make sure we get one up over Philadelphia in this game. We have to be at our very best and perhaps just see what they're about a little bit, work them out a little bit. They've got a lot more pressure, I suppose, upon them to try and get as far as we've got already. Zeratu's is out with a damaged foot for 3 weeks. That is frustrating. So we're missing our 2 biggest key midfielders in Zeratu's and Will Trapp. Hopefully they should be back for the playoff games, the important ones that are coming up soon. Again, press conference, please, Jordan Platt, sort this one out for me. I'm not too fussed about press conferences today. I just want to get through this and get into the playoffs because the playoffs is what is really exciting. And I suppose what we could do, actually, I'm not sure if they're 2-legged affairs or 1-legged affairs. We'll have to work it out. But potentially we could do it all in one episode, which would be quite exciting. Aloha, Aaron Long, both suspended. Zeratuza's injured. That's a terrible little way to be, isn't it? So, Aaron Long off, Lillard on, Aloha off. And the player we have to bring on is Norman, I suppose. Norman comes on in that deep line playmaker position. And then we've sort of got, in fact, Aaron Long's coming off for Ambrose. Figal can come back on the bench as well. He's still not quite fit enough, but if we desperately need it, we can get him on that pitch, I suppose. And then Robinson, get yourself on the bench as well. Other than that, we won't change the lineup too much. We might bring Powell back on for De La Garza, actually. The back line's a little bit weak, I've got to say. And maybe Pellegrini comes back on for Morgan. But other than that, that is probably the strongest lineup I think we've got right now. So let's go and take on Philadelphia Union and hopefully get a big win against them, which should give us a lot of confidence going into the playoffs and hopefully trying to win it and things like that. So again, assertive, nothing but a win from today's match to keep this one going. Tunnel interview. Again, assistant manager, sort this one out for me, will you, as we go back to the 2D camera, because I'm such a 2D classic guy. That's what I am, really, when it comes down to it all. Early chance, though, we are in the light grey, Philadelphia Union in the dark grey. If you're a little bit confused, and I got a little bit confused. Ben Sweat on the ball then, looking to pump this one forward. Instead, loses possession to the Philadelphia Union players, who play it inside and score the opening goal of the game. Not a great way to start off today's fixture, I'm going to say. That's pretty poor. Yeah, Ben Sweat losing possession right now is it's unforgivable, that really unforgivable. And we're just punished, aren't we? Robles gets a hand to it, but it's a very, very powerful shot. And perhaps the form is starting to dip a little bit because we didn't play massively well, I've got to say, defensively. I mean, I suppose we are missing our two main midfielders and our two main centre-backs, so we can't be too cross, especially against a Philadelphia side who are on a decent run at the moment and are sitting second in the Eastern Conference. It's not great, is it? It's not great, but sometimes you've got to lose games, and we've not lost one for an awful long time now. We've had some very big wins in the process, so if it's going to happen, let's make sure it's not in the playoffs, make sure it's in the regular season, not the playoffs. But we have to make sure we are on an absolute A game for the playoffs when that comes around. Philadelphia, in the first 10 minutes, are all over us. They have 5 shots to our 1 shot, and we're the team at home. We should be dominating them, really, so it's not great, but I'm going to blame it on this block of 4 players aren't being the midfield duo and the centre-back duo, where it's just not our first team, really. So we're not at full strength there, and that is like the core spine of a squad. That's what you want to be good as. Carranza plays it in towards Agudelo, back out towards Carranza. Can he put a cross in the middle? Again, he loses possession in a very key area, this time the attacking third, although great pressure from us to force it back to the keeper and nearly getting an interception or a tackle in there. Unfortunately, though, it led to a Philadelphia Union counter-attack, and they've nearly scored at the end of it, which obviously isn't quite ideal, as Aronson into the area. Torres just about gets rid of it, and Agudelo can now properly get rid of it after that nice tackle there. And actually, can we launch a bit of a counter-attack from this? Agudelo with a bit of pace down the left-hand side of the pitch, in towards Carranza, can't quite reach its man, and Philadelphia can clear it. We need to improve in the second half. We're only halfway through the first half right now. It feels like we've been going a lot longer than this. So, I don't know, Philadelphia toying with us. They are looking the stronger of the sides right now, as Ben Sweat gets on the end of the ball into Norman, up towards Pellegrini, who comes forward with the ball. Pellegrini across to Agudelo. Agudelo into the middle, shoots and scores. His 15th of this season. Agudelo is scoring the goals for us right now. Carranza still not actually seeing much from him after his penalty miss. He scored the other penalty, but he's not really gained the confidence that I thought he would from scoring that second penalty, as Pellegrini puts it across to Agudelo, who really works hard here to keep the possession and then put all the power into that shot. 1-1 against Philadelphia Union, and I'll tell you what, I will happily take a draw against Philadelphia given the circumstances today with injuries and suspensions to some key players out there. I really hope they are back in time for the playoffs. I think they should be. I think Trapp should definitely be back. We've seen that Figal is only a couple weeks away from full fitness as well, so hopefully he'll be back in time for the playoffs. We might be on the edge for players like Zuratouza, but we'll have to wait and see on that one, as Philadelphia Union hit the post just before half-time, as we've got to work. We've found our way back into the game a little bit. They still had double the amount of shots to us, but we've found the possession now. We've got more possession and things like that, and if we can just sort of carry this slight momentum perhaps into the second half, we might be able to find a winner late on in the game, as the Philadelphia Union keeper has the ball. He hoofed it upfield, and it actually manages to find its way through to Aronson, who is saved by Robles there. That's a good save from him to keep us in this game. We cannot concede before half-time. That would be a terrible time to concede, as the corner comes in for them and it goes all the way through for a goal kick. So nothing to worry about as we hit half-time. I think we can be pretty well, relatively pleased with that first half. Well, I'm going to say aggressively, I'm far from pleased. And who looks stressed there? Torres looks stressed. No wonder he looks stressed because he's not playing many games this season. In terms of our actual player ratings, defensively, we aren't looking great, which does worry me. Defensively in midfield, we're not looking great. I mean, only Agadello's playing well, and that's because he scored the goal, so it sort of artificially increases his match ratings there. As we've lost possession, the key position there, and Torres, what has he done there? I'm not entirely sure what Torres did there and why he couldn't win the ball, but Robles really keeping us in the game here today as Powell on the loose ball back out towards Lillard into Heidman, and that's the end of the highlight for now. What I think we might do is swap Carranza and Agadello over, take Carranza off for Kissavetta. That's one thing to do. Alves Powell on a 6.3 rating. We'll swap him out with De La Garza. We'll do that as well. Let's just confirm that change for now. If Pellegrini doesn't start playing well, we might bring Powell on that left-hand side of the attackers. Robles makes a good save there from the Philadelphia Union. It's a free kick. He plays it short to Lillard. He puts it up towards De La Garza. We try and make a little bit of a quick counter-attack, but we haven't really got the numbers to do that right now. As Lillard back to De La Garza. De La Garza into Heidman. Heidman back to De La Garza. Come on, lads. Nice bit of passing play here. Let's get this ball forward. Pizarro takes out two men there. Pellegrini can put a cross into the middle. He can put the cross into the middle. He's Norman, wow, David Norman, who I don't think has played many games at all this season, looked pretty useless, really, I've got to say, in terms of his attributes. Wasn't really planning on playing him whatsoever, but has just scored a very important a very important goal here. Now, it's obviously not that important because we've already won our conference, but it's so important to keep winning games and keep the momentum going. And if Norman can just pull off goals like that, well, he might be starting a couple more games as he sits on an 8.3 rating now. Absolutely loving life as we've taken the lead against Philadelphia Union. And this is what a team of champions does. Despite having to play or lose 4 key players, in my opinion, we are still finding ways to be winning games and things like that, or at least winning them with 10 minutes to go. Let's not talk too soon as Philadelphia Union look to come forward on the ball. Dotson in towards their number 20. Wootton now. Can he put a cross in the middle? He does. Cleared. Ben Sweat just hoof it clear. He does. And hoofs it clear to Kissavetta as well on a nice little ball there. Can we get a counter-attack going as Kissavetta plays it in towards Heidman? It is intercepted though. Although Heidman does get a challenge in there. Agadello coming forward into Pellegrini. Pellegrini hits the post. Could have made it 3. That was a great opportunity to make it 3. And I'm a little bit annoyed we didn't manage to take that one, to be fair. As Pizarro into the middle. Agadello saved by the keeper. Right, lads, let's hold on for 10 more minutes. Let's hold on. Come on, lads. 4 minutes to go. 2 minutes to go. 3 minutes to go. I'm counting the wrong way. 1 minute to go. That's what it was. Inter Miami 2. Philadelphia Union 1. Fantastic stuff. Philadelphia dropped to 4th in the conference, which obviously isn't fantastic for them. But another win for us. I mean, the assistant manager's telling me to say that was a disappointing performance. I'm going to say, well done, lads. That was a great win for us because it was a great win for us. That was superb, I've got to say. And one more game to go in the regular season. If we can just win it, how many games will we win in a row? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 wins in a row in all competitions. We've not lost for 17. We just have to keep it going against Orlando. They're sitting 12th in the conference. Is that bottom of the conference? It's nearly bottom of the conference. And if they lose it, Chicago might go ahead of them. So we finish off the regular season with the Florida Derby. Come on, lads. I believe in you. Inter Miami break consecutive win records there. 12 games won in a row is a new record. You love to see it. Fantastic stuff. We just have to hold on, make it 13 in a row against Orlando City, and you have to put us as the favourites of the playoffs. I cannot see us as, well, I'll say that. We've not actually played San Jose this season. They've gone on to win the Supporters' Shield, and they are doing extremely well this season in the Western Conference. They're on 74 points, 11 points ahead of us. So, obviously, they're doing something right as well. But their schedule, they've lost 3 of their last 5. Okay, so they're not in great form against a Minnesota side, a Montreal Impact side, and a Montreal Impact side again. So maybe they've dropped off form at the wrong time of the season. Based purely on form as Agadello picks up 3rd in Player of the Month. You've got to say we're going to be favourites of the playoffs. You've got to say that. The youth intake, apparently. Oh, I didn't realise we even got youth intakes in America. I thought it was all done through what's it called? The draft system. That's what I meant to say. We should be really optimistic about this group of players, but we don't have a great number of players coming through. And it doesn't look great, does it? Can we actually look at what's in this development centre squad? If we Inter Miami Academy, is that it? No. See, I didn't think we could. We can't actually see any sort of youth academy intake. I don't quite know how it works in America, so that's another reason why I only wanted to do one season, because there's no sort of youth development as far as our sort of where it's all through the drafts and things like that. Luckily for us, looks like Trapp and Long should be back for this final game, which obviously means they're back for the playoffs as well, so that's good to see. So we'll put these guys back into the squad for the Florida Derby against Orlando City FC, which I'm very much looking forward to, I must say. Right, Figal's not ready to play, so we won't play him, obviously, but we can get back in there Will Trapp and Heidman. So Will Trapp back on instead of Norman. Despite Norman scoring an incredible goal, I think it's best to bring Trapp back onto the pitch. And then Long is also fit enough to play, so he can come on for Torres, and Lillard can stay on the pitch, because Lillard has played very well when he has played this season. So there we go. What we might do actually is bring Norman on the bench instead of Robinson. That is something I'd be very open to, considering that he did score a bit of a wonder goal last time out. So there we go. Norman on the bench instead. Figal can swap over with Ambrose there, and we'll get Ambrose off and maybe bring Aloha back on the bench, back from his suspension. So there we go. The bench is all set up a little bit better. Will Trapp, maybe not the best to start him today, actually. He's on 90% condition. Let's actually start Aloha and then bring Trapp on just to give him some match sharpness just before the playoffs get going. That is the lineup, though. Hopefully this will be enough to defeat Orlando City today, and we'll have our 13th win in a row and be in the best form possible for the playoffs. I'm so excited for the playoffs, considering how good our form is right now, and I can almost see us losing the semi-final game. The first game playing the playoffs, I can see us losing it massively, so let's not get too excited out there, but secretly I am bubbling away thinking that we are going to win the playoffs, and that would be a fantastic way to do a one season challenge. What a fantastic way to do it, by winning the playoffs. That would be amazing. As Orlando City coming forward early on in today's game, shooting from distance is pretty terrible, so that's absolutely fine for us. If Orlando City want to do that all day, please do it all day, because you won't be scoring any goals like that, especially against Robles, who has been in incredible form this season. Apart from the past couple games where he has conceded 4 goals in 2 games, that's not great, but I suppose that's partly due to defensive mistakes. As Pizarro puts the ball into the middle, Carranza down in towards Long, and Aaron Long, back from injury, picks up his first goal of the season. Fantastic stuff. Finally contributing to a goal, Aaron Long, so thank you for that. But he has contributed a lot by making sure we don't concede many goals at all, as Carranza nods it down towards him. Carranza with the assist. That's going to do his confidence the world of good, and hopefully he'll score a goal or 2 today as well. That would help him out massively, I think, as an individual. Inter Miami 1, Orlando City 0. Let's just keep this going, keep the momentum up as we reach half-time, 1-0 up. Fantastic stuff there. Passionately pleased with how things are going. Keep it up, and let's just see the game out now. See the game out, and hopefully we will just finish the season on 66 points, which would be great. 13 wins in a row. Playoff favourites, I'm just so excited for the playoffs. I think we've got a great chance of winning them. Orlando City, I would have liked to have seen them actually have a good season and get themselves into the playoffs. If I had to support any team in America, in the USA, it probably would be Orlando City, because when I've been to America, it's been to Orlando. When I was 2 years old, actually, I went to America because my grandparents, for a year or so, for work, lived in Dallas. So I suppose I've got a bit of a slight connection to Dallas. I'm sure it's Dallas they lived in, so FC Dallas, I suppose I could support them, but I don't remember going there. I have very, very vague memories of it. In fact, I think I just remember some rocket ships at the Space Center and things like that, and something like that. I've got some very vivid memory of that for some reason, which is very strange for a 2-year-old, but that's how old I was at the time. As Orlando have equalised the goal there. They've brought one back. Hopefully, as we look to bring Will Trapp on for Aloha instead, that will sort things out, and he will contribute to a goal or 2. Pellegrini not playing well, so also we'll bring Lewis Morgan on for him as well on that left-hand side of the pitch. There's a highlight straight from the kickoff, so hopefully that results in a goal for us. But as I was saying, if I had to support anyone, it probably would be Orlando, because when I have been to America and I can actually properly remember it, it has been to Orlando. And You should always support your local team, I think. You support a big team if you want to, but you should also have your local team at heart, which is why I've always been a massive Lincoln City fan, because they've always been my local team. But I suppose the local team to me in America, whenever I've been, has been Orlando. So if I had to support anyone, it would be Orlando. So really, I'm managing the bitter rivals, I suppose, from this season onwards, as we are 5 minutes from time and drawing against Orlando right now, which isn't great. That's not the best way to finish off the regular season, although Carranza's shot just about saved by the keeper there. We'll go up to very attacking. I'm going to say get creative out there, and hopefully we can grab a goal right at the end to keep the winning run going. At least we'll be unbeaten still. Pizarro's free kick, or corner, met by the hands of the goalkeeper, not getting onto Lillard's head. And as the clock ticks down, don't do this to me. Please don't do it to me. We've not won. We've drawn it. But at least we have kept that unbeaten run going. I'm going to say, actually, that was not good enough from that there, I'm afraid. A couple of players do look a bit demotivated by that. But I've got to say, we had to keep winning to keep that form of momentum going. And as the season finishes, we haven't won the Supporters' Shield. But as far as I'm aware, no one actually cares about the Supporters' Shield. So San Jose can celebrate that. Well done, lads. We finished second overall, which I think is a fantastic, phenomenal achievement. Brilliant then. So, Orlando City hold out for a draw, which was quite surprising, to be fair. And we'll do his final press conference, the last one of the season. What was your reaction to Julian Carranza's late miss that could have seen you win the game? What I'm going to say is it's just a bad look at the end of the day, but we'll take the positives and build on the team. So hopefully that's not going to demotivate him too much. Aaron Long doesn't find the back of the net very often, but managed to today. How pleased were you to see that? It was a great moment for Aaron. We're all delighted for him. Was it unfortunate to come up against Oriel Russell in that sort of form today? He's the guy that scored the goal against us. I'm going to slate him, though. I'm going to say I thought he played well, but no better than 5 or 6 other players out there. What are your thoughts on New York parting ways with their manager? I think time will prove them right, I'll say that, just to start a bit of beef, because we always like starting a little bit of beef. Right, that's the end of the regular season then. When are our playoff fixtures? That's what we are interested in. We have either Atlanta United or Montreal Impact, apparently. That's what this is suggesting, on the 22nd of the 10th. So that's actually a good few weeks away, so we should be back. Players should be back from injuries and things like that in that time. I'm just going to sort of keep going forward a little bit. It looks like it's just a one-off game, though, not a two-legged fixture, so that's quite interesting. So I think next episode, we will do every single playoff game in the episode. So next episode is the final episode of this series, which is pretty exciting in a way. MLS then, what is going on? This is being played on the 17th of October. So actually, we've got a little bit of time before that even kicks off and things like that. So I'm going to call the episode here, and I will come back on the 17th of October next episode so we can see what goes on in all the playoff fixtures that we're not involved in before we get involved, and hopefully go all the way through and win the MLS Cup. So thank you ever so much for watching today's video. I hope you have enjoyed it. And if you have done, please do drop a like on the video for me and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. And I'll see you next time. Have a great one. Goodbye.